There's a story that's been blowing up all over the internet over the past few days, and I haven't spoken about it yet, but today there's an update to the story that really makes it an insane situation. So a guy named Steve Scalise, or Scalise, is the new House Majority Whip. So that means he's the third in command or third in control of the Republican Party. So he's a high-ranking, leading Republican. Now keep that in mind as we go through the facts of this story. So what happened is that over the past few days, we've learned that he's pretty radical. Now that's hardly news. Republicans, of course, the default position for rational people is that, yeah, Republicans are radical. Duh. They're all like that. All the elected ones, at least, are like that. So how is this news? Well, you'll see how it's news in a second, because it goes above and beyond your standard Republican radicalism. So in the late 1990s and early 2000s, he spoke at the European American Rights and Unity Organization, which might sound like a serious political group and a high-minded, intelligent organization, but it's not. In fact, all it is a white nationalist group. Another way of describing white nationalism is a white supremacist group, or just a hate group, as the Southern Poverty Law Center has deemed this group. Now, honestly, on that alone, I'm not all that outraged, and I really don't give a shit, because I don't believe in the idea of guilt by association. Like, for example, when Obama was in Reverend Wright's church and he said some outrageous things, I didn't think it was fair to say, well, we should all get mad at Obama because he was sitting in the pews. No, that doesn't mean he agrees with everything that was said. So I wasn't mad just based off of that. And another example is, let's say I were to give a speech somewhere and there were communists there, or there were, whatever, black separatists or something, or anarchists. That doesn't mean I agree with them and I agree with all their tactics. It just means that I'm in the same room, which is where it ends. So I wasn't mad at just that, but here's where it gets serious. When asked what he thinks of the leader of the group, David Duke, according to roll call, Scalise said he shared many of Duke's conservative beliefs. So he agrees with him on many things. He said, quote, "But the novelty of David Duke has worn off. The voters in this district are smart enough to realize that they need to get behind someone who not only believes in the issues they care about, but also can get elected. Duke has proven that he can't get elected, and that's the first and most important thing." So, in other words, he's saying, well, I'm with you guys, but I'm electable. I don't go out there and wear it on my sleeve that I'm a crazy racist. But I'll get elected, and I do believe the same things you believe, because I'll sugarcoat my beliefs and bullshit my way through so I can have power and believe what you believe and enact policies like you would like, but without just overtly and blatantly saying, hey man, I'm a racist. That appears to be pretty damning. Now, to give you some more specifics here, because you might think, well, you're extrapolating or you're reading into it too much. No, let me repeat this again. According to roll call, Scalise said he, quote, shared many of Duke's conservative beliefs. He shared his beliefs. So what are the beliefs of David Duke that this guy shares? Well, let me give you some specifics. David Duke is, quote, an American white nationalist, conspiracy theorist, and former Grand Wizard of the Knights of the Ku Klux Klan, and a neo-Nazi. Yeah. Exit stage left, Steve Scalise. What are you doing, man? No, we can't have this. We can't have this. Again, I wasn't even going to do the story. Maybe other progressive outlets would have done it. I wasn't going to do it when it was just the case that he spoke at a convention a while back that, had these terrible groups there. I wasn't going to discuss it because I don't think that means that he agrees with them. I really don't. I really don't. And some people might say you're being too fair in that respect. I really wouldn't have said anything based off of that, and I don't think you can draw conclusions based off of that. But when Steve Scalise tells you, no, I do share many of his beliefs, but I'm electable, he's not. So yeah, I'm with you, but I'm going to be a better bullshitter, so I'll get through the system, so vote for me. Okay, now he's saying, I'm with the neo-Nazis, I'm with the KKK, I am a white nationalist and white supremacist, and I will vote in accordance with that and in alliance with them. Well, now it's a problem. Now you just made it a real issue and something that every fair-minded person across the country should say, are you kidding me? Now, what we'll end this story on, because this just happened right before I came on air, John Boehner, so the leader of the Republicans, came out, and what did he say? We stand behind Scalise. Hold on. Imagine if the situation was reversed. Imagine if the situation was you had a Democratic leader who was with the Black Panthers or was an avowed communist or was viewed as super far left and, said 9/11 is an inside job and was a conspiracy theorist in multiple different ways. And they're open about that, right? How quickly would the Democrats say, gone. You're done here. Step down. We're imploring you to resign. We need you to resign for us. But when it happens to a Republican, they circle the wagons. Even when it's a situation where it's not okay, man. It's not acceptable. You cannot have a guy who basically says, yeah, I agree with the KKK. I agree with a neo-Nazi. I share a lot of the same beliefs. None of the beliefs are okay. That's the point. It's not like, hey, the Nazis, they were right on some things, but on other things, oh man, were they out there. No, everything about them is fucking insane and stupid. So when you have a guy saying, yes, I'm with them, how dare John Boehner come out and say, no, we support him. Oh, really? You support him? So then don't get mad at us when we inevitably say, because we're right now, that, the Republicans, they're the party that houses KKK sympathizers and neo-Nazi sympathizers, and that's a fact, because John Boehner just told us that's what he's doing. And they will get mad at us when we point that out, and they're 100% wrong if they get mad about that. So thank you for opening the door for us to slam you with this. Now, of course, the elected Democrats won't do that because they're terrible at politics, but every other progressive in the country should do that. It's unacceptable. And doesn't that tell you everything you need to know about today's Republican Party? That this is how extreme they've become. This is how extreme over the years they've gotten. Where somebody can say, yes, I sympathize with neo-Nazis and grand wizards of the KKK. And the leadership's like, oh, is that a problem? Oh, I didn't know that. I thought that was a positive thing.